Hey gang, Mark Sweeney here from Austin Dental Spa in beautiful Austin, Texas. Fall has finally arrived. It's down in the 70s until the middle of the day, and then it's getting up into the 80s, but we're done with 100 degrees, finally. If you've been paying attention, you know that we are now into October, and the reason I started off with Freddie Mercury and Queen, every week I'm going to bring you a different rock song because our theme for the month is Rocktober. And that also had a special meaning to me because of a guy that came in this morning and lost yet another tooth. So another one bit the dust. And so I thought, well, I get a little chuckle out of that. He probably didn't, but maybe y'all will too. So he now qualifies for summer teeth, meaning some are there and some are not. So today, as you know, if you've watched Wisdom Wednesday before, we always cover some of the latest, greatest, state-of-the-art scientific information, either from the medical or the dental community. Today is no different. And then I do a little health tip at the end, which is usually aimed at ways you can make your life better. But today, it's actually aimed at your pets. So stick around for that. But our theme for this month is Rocktober, and we're going to talk about 6 things that the anti-aging people, the people that spend their entire careers trying to help people slow down the aging process, 6 things that they never do. So, what do you think those might be? Well, you might be surprised by a few of them, and some of them, it's like me being a broken record, exercise, get more sleep, you know, the whole thing. But this, actually, research just came out very, very recently. These are people that, again, make a living by trying to help people slow down the aging process. And so, number one, they don't lead sedentary lives. These aging experts, they say exercise. You've got to keep moving. Now, mainly their number one category, and the first 2 are connected because the first category is aerobic exercise. Walking, swimming, running, dancing, hiking, all those aerobic things. Aerobic meaning if you're in the aerobic area, it means you could carry on a conversation with another person or you're not breathing heavily. You're still in an aerobic state, and the importance of that is you're burning fat, not muscle. Now, when you move into an anaerobic state where you're starting to have a hard time breathing and you wouldn't be able to carry on a casual conversation, now you're burning muscle tissue, glycogen. You're actually breaking down your body, but in doing so, that segues us into number 2. They never do non-weight training. They don't stick with just aerobic stuff. They do strength training too. We're talking about what they do not do. They do not skip the weight training because they found that the 2 go hand in hand, the aerobic training and the anaerobic training, where you're actually straining to build weights. Yes, it does break down muscle tissue temporarily, but it gets built back faster because your body says, oh, what is this idiot going to do tomorrow? If he did 15 push-ups today, he might do 20 tomorrow. So we need to be prepared. We need to build back muscle. And if you keep doing it, that's when you really start getting some muscle definition. You personal trainers out there know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, it doesn't just have to be weights, although that's one of the quickest, easiest ways. I've seen this thing running around on social media now, the 7-minute chair workout where this guy's doing, backward pull-ups on a chair and lean forward push-ups on a chair and all these other different things where he's standing there and moving each leg around. So it's a 7-minute chair workout. And there's also yoga Pilates. I don't know if you've tried Pilates, but that's a lot harder than it looks. I don't know who named that thing a reformer, but they had to have a good sense of humor because it reformed me from ever wanting to do Pilates again. So, number 3, isolate yourself. In other words, the anti-aging experts say things they do not do. Spend a lot of time alone. No, they say you should do just the opposite. Do not isolate yourself. Find social groups. Go out. Human beings are meant to be social creatures. We like to go out and be involved with other people. Just sitting at home and watching 100,000 people watch a football game is not being social. You're still isolated by yourself in that room. Go to the football game. Go to the tailgating parties. Join a social group. Do square dancing or something, but not so much for the exercise, but for the human interaction. Number 4, they never go to the doctor. Now, this is, again, things that they don't do. They claim that cancer is the number 2 reason that people die, second behind cardiovascular incidents in the United States. So cancer screenings, very quick and easy most of the time, and you should get screened for cancer regularly. Number 5, drink and smoke and have a good time. Again, we're talking about what the experts say they do not do. So they do not smoke. Most of them said they never smoked and do not smoke currently. And they said that's one of the worst habits that you can have because it affects your lungs. It's well known for many, many years that it's directly connected to lung cancer and can be a causative agent, as well as a couple of other cancers. Now, the alcohol, that's a little iffier because there are studies out there that say 1 glass of red wine a day can actually stimulate your cardiovascular system, but apparently 10 glasses a day doesn't have 10 times as good of an effect. So moderation is the key there, but there are studies out there that show that too much alcohol on a regular basis can lead to a less healthy lifestyle. But you guys are smart. You already knew that. And number 6, don't challenge your brain. Sit at home and stare out the window. Again, we're talking about things the experts say they do not do. What they do is challenge their brains regularly. Crossword puzzles in the New York Times every day. Their brain competitions, this Wordle, which I tried once and said, no, I'm not old enough yet. Cognition games we talked about last week on Wisdom Wednesday. Cognition games are easy to find out there on the internet now. You can do them while you're sitting and reading a book. Even reading a book is something that stimulates your brain. So those are things that you should do if you don't want to age as fast as the people that you see around you. My health tip for the day, and I hope those tips were helpful. A lot of them are just fairly basic common sense. My health tip, if you've got a dog or a cat, mainly, I don't know if this works on fish or reptiles very well, but on dogs and cats, if your dog is starting to act nervous, if they're pacing, if they're jumping at every sound, your dog may have a bit of an anxiety problem, or your cat. I don't know that cats really have that much emotion, but until they're hungry. But or you're trying to sleep and they sit on top of you and do that stuff. You can tell I'm more of a dog fan than a cat fan. But either way, dogs and cats, they've done the research to show that play music for them. Now, you can't play everything. P. Diddy or Kanye West probably not going to float your dog's boat. But soothing music, you can tell when you look at, I can tell when I look at my dog, if I'm playing smooth jazz channel off of Alexa, my dog gets calm, his ears go back and he goes to sleep. If I'm playing something a little more lively, like Queen, his ears are up. It's like it's irritating him. Sometimes I do it just to irritate him, but what the hell. Anyway, those are tips that you can use to try to help calm your animal down, your dog or your cat. I leave my TV on sometimes when I leave the house for an hour or two, because my dog's at least hearing sounds that he hears when I'm usually there, and I think it calms him down. He seems pretty calm when I get home. So hope you can use those tips, and I hope the anti-aging tips helped out too. I'll see you next week. I'll actually be in a surprise location next week, but I will be sending a video in so that you don't forget about Wisdom Wednesdays while I'm gone. So see you next Wednesday for another episode of Wisdom Wednesday. See if we can get Freddie back on here for just the last little bit.